Alright, we're gonna speed this one up because we speed them all up, but we're really gonna speed this one up because you'll get the idea of how it's gonna work pretty quickly. So, opening up with Runaga Storm for Reigns to get his Cavalry Commander buff. And unfortunately, Quistis starts all the way back there. So, for the first few turns, just not going to be able to do really much of anything. And now it is time for Quistis to remove their healing. If you're watching this, I'm assuming you already know about their healing. So basically you have to delay them 3 turns, and then it goes away. The healing comes back at the beginning at 50%, not 29%. And they put up HP shields. The HP shields also make it so they can't be delayed. So, lots of fun stuff. But anyways, as far as my Quistis, we also have a friend Quistis we're going to bring in. As far as my Quistis, not really worried about her taking turns or anything like that, so I don't need to do any Aphmau shenanigans just yet. That's going to come when we bring in our friend Quistis, who has a fully built LD with LD boards and blue armor. So not exactly a BT friend, or BT plus friend, but that's going to work. And the idea is I'm going to focus them down one at a time since they do not enrage. And our Quistis friend here has the C60 passive removed so that their turns are not instantaneous, allowing us to spread the 5 turns for your friend out quite a bit more easily, which is a brilliant idea. I like it. But anyways, we're going to focus down A here, and we're going to bring up the Pandemonium Summon a little earlier than usual, but the reason for that is so that A doesn't get a turn, and we can continue to focus A down. It's going to give us some breathing room. If need be, I can use some Degenerator Whips from Quistis and just knock them back, but whatever. Another thing is, if you notice, B is launchable, and I can get some pretty nice launches on B, but I have to resist the temptation. And the reason for that is because Sid Reigns is going to do splash damage with his EX and with his LD, and I can't have B going below 79% and having its orb appear, or I'll have to worry about having to manage that, and that can be a huge pain. And also, Quistis does splash damage with her skill 1. So, cavalry rushing here because it's going to battery everyone. I feel like considering this is a Lufenia Plus stage, they're very lenient on the bravery gen. So I brought in Quistis, by the way, to Degenerator Whip there, and removed its healing, and now I can bring in friend Quistis. With friend Quistis, I'm going to use the LD because it's just the strongest move she has. It's going to delay everybody. Good times. And now I begin the Aphmau Reigns shenanigans so that friend Quistis doesn't take any turns. Okay, yeah. If you'll notice, I used Aphmau's LD on Sid Reigns, even though he already had a turn and was going right away. The reason for that was so that Sid Reigns could Runaga Storm, and now he can Cavalry Rush to bring up Aphmau. Otherwise, we'd have to go a few turns of Sid Reigns without his Cavalry Rush buff, which would have really dropped our total damage. Speaking of damage, since it appears that Brave Battery, that's the word I'm looking for, Brave Battery, doesn't seem to be as reduced as Brave Damage is with Aphmau. I'm just using her Brave Attack Plus because that's going to battery everyone. Lots going on here. For Sid, maybe I sped this up too much. For Sid Reigns, I brought in Quistis, since he can, thanks to his turn manipulation, you can make anyone go who you want. I brought in Quistis because I knew that A was going to drop below the 29% threshold, and so it was time to use a Degenerator Whip on A. Now, once again, I used Aphmau's LD on Reigns, even though he had a turn coming up, and the idea was something like I was going to use his HP plus or something like that, but it didn't work out. That wasn't a good idea to use it there like it was earlier. So hooray for sometimes thing, yeah, sometimes, yeah. Anyways, too much coffee. We're going to Runaga Storm instead of X there because we want to refresh the buff, of course. And, oh, and I thought it was going to kill A, which kind of stinks that A is not dead here. With 2%, it feels like a huge waste to use Rains' turn on one. So I'm going to target B with Seraphic Ray and hope the splash kills A, because I still have to worry about A's orb, and it doesn't. So that kind of sucks, but I think Rains is out of tactical swaps or whatever, so we have to LD him again. And then B has gone below the orb, the 79% number, so orb threshold there, and luckily A was launchable, and so we didn't have to have Rains take a turn to kill A, to do 2% whole damage to one of these guys, so that worked out. Not as big of a jam as I feared it was going to be at first. And I guess at this point it's just standard Sid Rains Aphmau shenanigans. You know, make sure to keep the buffs and the turns going back and forth, and then when I'm pretty sure the guy's going to drop below 59% or 49%, which he's going to do here, I'm going to bring in Quistis, and then she'll go ahead and whip him, and Aphmau Rains shenanigans will continue, and we will continue to benefit from having Quistis in here with her auras and her blue armor. With Aphmau there, I used HP attack optimization to get the optimization buff on Rains and Quistis. I don't know how much it's needed for this, but it's there. I mean, probably mostly for the max brave. With Rains, yeah, we used an HP plus there because he didn't have tactical switch, and now we need to bring Aphmau back. Nope, he's going to drop below 29% right here, so perfect timing. We didn't have to waste those HP pluses, and we still got to use the Aphmau Rains combo, and that is the final Degenerator Whip that we will need to use in this, because they won't try to heal themselves anymore, and now it's just we have to worry about the orb. We may have had to worry about the turn count if things were if I used a different team, but for these guys, lots of free turns from Aphmau and everything, so no need to worry there. Oh, one brave damage attack. Sometimes that happens when they have the HP shields up, and Rains can't battery into the launch. So, let's see. The guy's got 5 ticks on the orb. Do I continue with Rains Aphmau, or do I just use Quistis? And the answer is going to be use Quistis. So let's go ahead and use our final turn of Friend Quistis right here. That will delay the guy 2 turns to knock his orb up. It would not have removed the healing, but it does knock the orb up by 10. So that's nice. And now we can bring Aphmau up and go into the Aphmau Rains shenanigans with 8 ticks on the orb instead of 5, and way less HP on the enemy. And then that should, unfortunately we do have to go without the Cavalry Rush buff here, which kind of gimps Sid Rains' damage, but that's the way it goes. And we're almost done here. And Rains will finish it off, absolutely destroying this enemy. That should do it. So anyways, thanks for watching. Feel free to give this video a like if you want me to feel better about myself. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment. And here you can see Rains has no ingots in his weapon. Quistis doesn't even have the EX, or apparently anything in the 35 CP. and Aphmau has no ingots. Thank you for watching.